I just want to say one thing, because you put it on. It's interesting that in Israel we don't talk about the kidnapped as forced disappearances. We talk them as hostages. We talk about kidnapping and not forced disappearances, and it's interesting to hear why.
We know where they are.
What? Do we know? Let me know where they are.
We know.
Okay, let's see.
No, it's exactly...
As opposed to what happened in Argentina and Chile, when it was the ambiguity about where they are was the...
So this is one... this is a question mark. How, because it's an evolving category, it can encompass everything or nothing. This is exactly where I would like... and there is a social terms. Why does a society decide to call something under a certain category? And and we invited our guests to explore more the context here in Israel, not just the kidnapped, but also the imprisoned and so forth. And I just want to say one thing before we move to them, because you talked about the theme was Cain and Abel, and when I taught administrative law here years before, I used this story to say this is the beginning of due process in law, that you don't punish without giving them a hearing, but the whole question of you find there the first enforced disappearance, but enforced disappearance is also connected to the question of the rule of law.
Correct.
And what is the rule of law there? So I think it's a very interesting connection that maybe we will hear more about it from our next speaker, Dr. Eitan Daimon. He is an international lawyer specializing in international humanitarian law and international human rights law. He currently serves as manager and senior legal expert at the Akonia IHL Center in Jerusalem and on the managerial boards of the NGOs Public Committee Against Torture in Israel and Parents Against Child Detention. Eitan has previously worked as executive director of the NGO Gisha, as a legal advisor for the delegation of the International Committee of the Red Cross in Israel and the occupied territories, and as an expert consultant for UNICEF, and as researcher and legal advisor for the NGO B'Tselem. And I will add that he is a graduate of our Tel Aviv Law School, where I had the pleasure to have discussions with him about his thesis. So please, welcome.
Thanks a lot.